Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Asia Champions League. Here we are, the grand finals. This settles it all. Two teams have qualified for Worlds, both of them out of Japan. We talked about how impressive this region is and what a story for these two squads, Dupes. Next, we have Reject and we have Fennel. Fennel, the undefeated run through the winner's side. Reject having to go through the entirety of the loser's bracket and dispatch the team that sent them down here to make it back to Grands.
Hitting those salty run backs, of course, is Reject, who are seeing right now Overlord trying to prove the worth of moving from NA to Japan to level up with this group of gentlemen right here. And now, officially, Japan sending 5 representatives to the World Championships. Yikes for the other regions.
Amazing stuff as Reject takes the stage once again. And, I mean, they might as well set up a little base camp up there. They're not leaving the stage. They've been up there all day fighting their way through losers. Overlord right now. Last year, 3rd place here at ACL. Now the possibility of winning it all for a different region. The 2-time world champ from North America could bring home the hardware, but if you bring it to Japan, I feel like we still get a little bit of that win.
Yeah, I mean, technically, we get a little sliver of that pie. Like if you miscut a pizza, there's always that little tiny piece.
Oh, I want that piece.
That one's
piece,
ours,
baby.
I want that one bad. Let's go, baby. Fennel Reject, grand final.
This is so exciting. But I think both storylines would have been incredible. I would love to have seen Dig here, of course, out of North America. I would love to see Reject and Dig go at it once again in Grands, but for them to come back through this entire tournament, the Coin
Hide guy, starting in the right hand. See where it ends up.
Oh, he's moving his eyes over.
He's gone left hand twice.
He's playing a game.
Let's see how we end up here.
He's not moving that coin. You know what he's up to.
Go almost committed to left. Does commit left. Oh! Coin Hide guy does it again.
Absolute magician here.
Ooh.
And you know what I've noticed about him? I think he's moving it around a little bit more sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. You know what? He might actually be a magician and just flipping it.
I think he is. I think that's very likely as we're getting ready for our grand finals here. This is a best of 5, Dupes, next, but because Fennel has come from the winner's side, they are going to have a 1-game advantage. No bracket reset here at ACL, but they already have taken a game off of Reject, essentially.
Yeah, absolutely. So essentially, like you mentioned, best of 5. The winner's advantage is that first game. So a total potential of 4 games to be played.
That's right. Reject is going to need to take them down 3 times here. Obviously, we only need a couple of wins from Fennel. Fennel, the best out of Japan, made it here through winners, but Reject is on a run, kind of a legendary run.
Yep.
We saw them on day 1. I think the entire story of Japan is kind of similar to this as a region, but just speaking about Reject specifically, they lose to Dig, they get O2'd, they look rough. It feels like their compositions aren't working too well, right? And you see that the run they have to go on, they have to take down Force and Nemesis and Scars and Dignitas once again to face off against Fennel. Fennel, on the other hand, just made their way straight through winners.
Yeah, exactly. Reject, again, on this run. So they've got a lot of wind at their sails here. They've been playing a lot of Pokemon Unite. They're certainly warmed up. Fennel, not a lot of folks were able to knock them silly here, but I think, again, you mentioned what is the story of this tournament, and for me, it's how quickly these Japanese teams learned this format and were able to adjust, adapt, and bring home some winning strategies from day 1 to day 2, because day 1 they were getting gapped in that draft screen, and their mechanics are what allowed them to eke along, which of course are incredible. But right now, they've cracked the code and they're cracked on the sticks, and now we've got 2 teams that went through the same transformation overnight, battling it out in the grand final.
Which is incredible to see. We're taking a look at Fennel and the stat line right here. High scoring from a lot of their players, a ton of KOs, AK1 with the lion's share of those. Looking at Mame here, 6.3 assists per game. Whether they win or whether they lose, they are putting in the work as as a supporter, and you're hoping those numbers are pretty high, the assist numbers, when you're looking at your support and your defender, and they absolutely are, of course, on Fennel, this undefeated squad right here. I mean, this entire team is full of superstars. There isn't a single player that hasn't shown up here at ACL. I think one that I want to highlight a little bit is going to be Mame. Mame has been with the game forever, started in the carry role, oftentimes playing the all-rounders, and now flexing into a support role and making that impact, which is really impressive.
Mame, a player I put on my ultimate team, and of course the other player I put on my ultimate team, Overlord, leading the score race here for the Reject squad, but Pavone not to be left behind in that assist column. 11.0 assists, which means Reject is fighting, Reject is taking knockouts, and Pavone's in the mix every single time.
Yeah, an impressive squad. They've had such a run this weekend, and I really do feel like they are the most emblematic of what Japan has gone through here at this tournament. Having a tough day one, a tough start. Even a team like Fennel, you know, they almost were taken down by CACM Esports. Yeah. And while CACM is a great squad, I don't think people would have expected that they may take down Fennel in the winners bracket. That's how rocky some of these teams from Japan were in day one. I think most all of them getting knocked down to the losers bracket to start this tournament. They need to go on deep runs. The deepest of all, Reject, making it all the way to the center of the mountain to climb back to the top. And here they are, the trophy sitting right behind them.
Both of these teams look incredible. B1 on their characters that they've played that you and I haven't gotten to cast yet is actually Mr. Mime. But in a best of 5, you have to think that Mr. Mime might be in the back pocket to be used. And that's something I'd like to see, because I think that Mr. Mime is just a solid character. P, Mashio, Mame, and AK1 all backing them up.
Yeah, they wanna shut this down pretty quick. They want to take a couple of games off Reject and just head home, right? Head home with the trophy, head home with the rings, head home with the #1 slot here at ACL. Obviously, both teams probably breathing a sigh of relief. They're in the grand finals, and they have qualified for the World Championships. That's amazing, but now right in front of them, the ultimate prize, that trophy, the fact that you won the entire thing. As we talk about many times, there are a few huge tournaments a year for Pokemon Unite. Worlds is the #1. That is the tippy top. But of course, ACL is right there. Such an incredible event. A packed arena here only for Unite, by the way. With Unite merch, with Unite fans, with people who've made signs for these players. It's incredible.
The capacity of this arena is about, I'd say, 2,500, and we're probably creeping in real close to having 2K here. This thing is packed to the gills. Again, all of these people traveling in to watch Unite specifically. No other games featured here but this one. Japan loves this. Japan is leading the pack in terms of team quality, and Japan is leading the pack in terms of game support, whether as a fan or as a player, and they are getting what they deserve, which is a banger of a grand final.
Yeah, it's no surprise that Japan is doing so well in this tournament, too. They would be the region to do it. They are the strongest region in this game. They have the most hype, the most players, and maybe the most skill. They're showing it here today at ACL for sure, as we have 2 teams out of Japan in our grand finals. I'm wondering how Reject is going to play into Fennel. You know, we've seen a lot of other regions facing off. We have not seen a lot of Japan versus Japan. They've, interestingly enough, been on different sides of this bracket, getting taken down by different teams. Reject, of course, had to take down Scars to make their way into the losers finals just a moment ago. But it's going to be really interesting to see how a team reacts to Fennel. Fennel being the almost undefeated squad out of Japan. I think they went 23-3 or something like that on their maps. It's crazy.
Yeah, not taking a lot of losses today, and I don't think this is where they want to start now. Like you said, they are getting that game advantage, and all they want to do now, win 2 on the hop and get on out of here. I think the worst thing you can do for yourself is let Reject get a foothold on that stage in these grand finals and push this thing to the limit and really stress test you all the way into that game #5. That goes without saying. Reject, on the other hand, knock it out in 3. Why not?
I would be really, I got to be honest, I would love for this to go the distance, just because with our draft style, with the knockout draft, where you are not able to pick the same Pokemon over again. If we get all the way to our 4th game, they have gone through so much of the roster. I just want to see what they bring into that match.
Oh, absolutely. And then you're really testing the limits of how deep the pool is, how quickly you can develop new strategy based on what remains, and then the crazy bans that would result from that. But because of this latest patch, as well as this draft format, we've been seeing a lot more things that we rarely seen previous, such as Greninjas, Cramorants, Cinderaces.
Yeah.
Of course, here in the East, they love that Zacian. That's sitting on top of the pile. And of course, we mentioned it before, what I think is the MVP, most valuable Pokemon, and it's gotta be the one carrying the championship belt, and that's Machamp.
Yeah, Machamp having a weekend, Zacian being a first pick for a lot of these squads, and we're getting ready for our first draft of our grand finals. Here we go. First ban over to the side of Fennel, and they are going to get rid of Mimikyu.
Great start here. It's a phenomenal Pokemon. Dodrio quickly locked down for reject. And the speed at which we're motoring through this leads me to believe we got a little bit of experience is what we're looking at here, as Machamp is quickly knocked off as an option as well. Charizard Y instantly locked in as well.
Yeah, a lot of the power picks that we've seen throughout this tournament, Machamp, no shocker right there. It is a playmaker Pokemon, and it has been doing it all weekend. Surfetched catching a ban right here, something that Overlord's been playing, and Zacian getting banned out early on here. We're going to have to see how Fennel would like to play this for our first pick of our grand finals, and they're taking Blastoise.
Yeah, great solid first pick. Keeps your options open. That can play more as an attacker in the top path, or like all-rounder, excuse me. Also, you can go straight defense with it. Pee-wee looking at that Duck, which they had an incredible game on just earlier against Root Dig. Haruto looks to be eyeing up that Garchomp.
Yeah, Garchomp has been a factor for a lot of teams here. Psyduck, it feels like it has a similar role to what we're seeing out of these Machamps, right? You hit with the Psychic, you bring them on in, you're just creating these chains of crowd control. You move that right into a Dragon Claw combo, into a Unite move, and you kind of delete something on the other side. Machio with the Mew, and we've got ourselves a Mega Lucario.
It kind of feels like to me that Fennel is going all in on winning games 2 and 3 here. Again, the first one already they are given credit for here in our best of 5, to see if they can really stress test reject and see if they can even fight out of the next 2 games.
Next couple of picks here. What are they going to bring into this? Really, a Meowth?
Interesting here. I would love to see the faces of reject as Fennel reacts to that pick. Mame going to the Clefable, which has really been an all-star in this back half of this day 2 of the tournament.
Yeah, and especially if you take a look at the squad here for Fennel, pretty tanky, right? 2 all-rounders and this extremely tanky Pokemon in Blastoise. So there's a lot of HP to recover after they move in and fight for a moment here. And reject with their final pick. See what they want to bring out. Hovering around the Greninja for a while, but no, going with the Inteleon. I have not seen Meowth from Overlord throughout this tournament. I could be wrong here, but I don't remember seeing it, so I'm kind of surprised we're getting it, transferring it over to Haruto.
Yeah, we have had Overlord carrying the Garchomp for this team. Satake, obviously a great liquidation game. Very good into these tanky Pokemon. Right, we saw them use it in Game 3 against Root Dignitas, and it had a phenomenal showing there.
I'm wondering, looking at this composition, there are a couple Pokemon on the side of reject that may want to dive in. I'm not sure if this Clefable is going to want to, run gravity in a situation like that, but I'm really interested to see exactly what this is going to look like. Again, Clefable been a difference maker for a lot of these teams. If you're something that can sustain a small volley from the other side, right, if you're not a squishy enough attacker where you go down right away, Clefable just continuing to top the team off in all of these engagements, giving them more and more opportunities to move in and hopefully get a catch, and that's what we've seen a lot today. It feels like these teams are casting out their line. They're going fishing. They're looking to catch something, and if they can get it, pick up a KO, they can start to win a huge fight. Fennel, your purple team. Reject, your orange team. These are your grand finals here at ACL.
Let's get into it. Mame might still go with the gravity to finish that point again because they were using it against Root Dig, not necessarily as a way to trap diving characters, but as a wall to prevent characters from diving in. More of like an escape tool. And if you can get a courtesy KO through trapping somebody, you're okay with that as well. Mew Lucario is a tough path to live in, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, look at the aggression right there. Mame in a lot of trouble here, looking to score and no being punished right away by Reject.
Yeah, not playing any games today is Reject. Overlord falling back. Pavone there to give them a little bit of support, but immediately the Danger Noodle shows up. Dragonair ready to put some pressure on.
Yeah, look at this pressure in the top path. We do have the Drizzile making their way up, going to try to push them back a little bit, but it really doesn't feel like it gets to, have a huge impact until it finally hits its level 7.
Haruto grabbing that little speed berry there, gonna just run past the Natsus, go straight to the bottom path, and now they're going for a central area invade, my friend.
Yeah, and here we go. Pete in some trouble right here. Gonna walk back from the situation, and I guess Umbreon was just, deciding there's no way I make it all the way back. I'm just gonna let myself go right here. Nice little play. The water gun into the boosted.
Well done, great knockout here. Unfortunately, what that does for Haruto is that puts them in the eyes of this Lucario, who is not paying attention. Danger Noodle coming back, Mame on a mission to waste time, and they're being pretty darn successful.
And here we go. Nice little KO right here. The Meowth finally does go down. No level 8 yet for the Dragonair, but they are on their way. Up here in our top path, he actually getting shut down a little bit. Only level 5 right now. We're going to see if they can tick over to 6 during this fight, but almost getting caught there by the Duck.
Yeah, I mean, Psyduck has also just been a consistent playmaker for all of these different teams all weekend long. Boosted auto find its way to Abone, stepping back up, stepping into the mix is P, and then there's Satake, Liquidation, and Teleon with Acrobatics.
Yeah, it looks like highest level on the board right now. Dragonite is online for the side of Fennel, but this game is incredibly close between these two teams. Score-wise, very close as well. Only 33 points scored by Fennel, but they are ahead on this scoreboard. Overlord right now, seeing if they want to move in for this fight. Getting caught a little bit right here, in trouble in no man's land on the side of the other squad there, but a beautiful eject button gets him away from that hyper beam that would have finished him off for sure.
Without a doubt, and able to get a Wartortle knockout as well as a prize for Reject. Liquidation, forcing out the eject button from the Mew in that particular instance. I think what Overlord was trying to do is see if somebody overextended so they could drag and combo them back towards the rest of the team. It didn't quite shake that way. Now Overlord's going to do what a Garchomp does, rip through an objective.
And here we go, Regirock also being ripped through right here. We've got these. Oh my gosh!
A little bit of a taste of your own medicine there, Fennel. Reject getting the secure off the Psychic. Yikes.
I mean, it happens again and again and again. I was just talking to Wonder Chef about how many times we've seen Psyduck make plays like that throughout this tournament immediately here in our grand finals. What a steal. But yes, of course, you can't be too mad if you're Fennel. You had quite a steal yourself with Psyduck just a few moments ago.
Yeah, there's a bit of a difference between a Regirock and a Groudon when you're down 4 players. Well done there by Reject, but the game continues. Keep your eye on the prize.
Yep, Mame looking to stack here on the bottom path, and they're just getting punished a little bit for it. No surprise, they're well aware that they could be going down for this play, that they want to get themselves online. They want to make sure that they are powerful for some of these future fights. Goal zone, a little bad math right there. Pavone not able to score. Not the worst thing ever, but it would have been nice to get those extra points.
Nice little mean look down on the Blastoise, which will allow Pee-wee to get out as well. The rest of Reject fade back to their side of the map. They are now realizing that AK and company are there, putting the pressure on their resources in the middle. Mashio on this view, grabs the Speed Berry. Great Psychic out of Pee-wee. That's a knockout.
You look how beautiful these plays are with Psyduck. I mean, at range, able to control the battlefield, move your opponent around right back into the Garchomp that's just ripping through you with those boosted. Great play there by Reject.
Haruto right there, nice little Psychic and tons of damage.
Jeez.
Burn it down. this is one thing that these Japanese teams have done better than any other region, and it's following up on catches. They are there to deliver the hurt if you get snagged.
Wow, take a look at that. Liquidation's doing insane amounts of damage right here. Of course, it really gets online once you hit level 13. You get the extra amount of liquidation hitting your opponents. They catch the Dragonite. Do they decide to go in? Not yet, Dupes X, but here comes Overlord.
Dragon Rush right into 2. They're going into the Unite move. They're going for it. Dragonite, tons of pressure on them. Meanwhile, we're popping Unite moves the other way. Mega Lucario's online, and they're getting one body. They're looking for more. Huge close combat, making 2. Blastoise with the support. Nails their coffin down, baby, and now it's the goal zone getting stressed.
Beautiful stuff here from Fennel. 248, 190. Reject in a lot of trouble here. Moving towards the goal zone on the side of Fennel, but really in a difficult position here. Pavone having to peel back from this. Wish keeping them healthy, but here comes AK1 trying to make sure they can shut them down, and they do. Pick up another KO. Multiple members of Reject possibly moving towards the top path, but no, we have Arudo hiding in the tall grass, looking for either information or to make a play, and they are moving forward onto the Lucario.
Right into the psychic follow-up, and there's a quality knockout on the horizon. Power-up punch gets them away. Mame with the coverage. Haruto closes it out anyways. Pee-wee trying to scrap with B1 as Haruto's going in for the score. Covered easily by Mashio. Half HP is the Meowth. The chase begins. E-ball for half the HP. Boosted auto puts them on the razor's edge, and an A-press closes it out.
Beautiful stuff right there. The Hyper Beam not taking down Overlord just yet. He's trying to chase them through. Liquidation onto the Blastoise. Overlord moves in with the Wish. In trouble. Unite move from the Garchomp. Spin into win. The Hyper Beam not able to take him down. Finally, Lucario with the fist. The close combat was enough, and here comes Blastoise.
Well-timed surf out of the mean look by B1. Hydro Pump helps, and Mashio comes out to close. Umbreon with the Wish on themselves. Surf back into the action. E-ball's there. Boosted auto. Eaten. It doesn't get the KO. E-ball doesn't get there as well. Solar Beam falls shy.
Wow. I mean, that Umbreon absolutely making it out on a sliver multiple times here. 2 minutes. 50 seconds on the clock, 250 points for Fennel, 223 for Reject. Extremely close between these two squads. Level-wise, however, and points slightly on the side of Fennel.
Yeah, we just need Pavone on this Umbreon to catch up a little bit. Everyone else is pretty close to their counterparts here. We've got 25 seconds. We've got a basin objective. Let's see how the teams play.
You know, if this Inteleon Dupe Snacks can just get a few of these liquidations off, it is going to shred through the side of Fennel. It's just such an incredibly powerful move. It doesn't look like Fennel is going to go for this objective at all. Instead, looking for positioning right here. Nice liquidation. You can see how much damage that did to Blastoise. Big time Solar Beam, but Umbreon is still with us right here. Another huge liquidation. Here goes Overlord.
Orikina right back through Garchomp. Unite finds a bunch of targets. B1 goes down. Running into the middle is Reject. Inteleon goes undercover cop mode. They're looking for targets. They're firing them down. Close combat doesn't hit much. Sai putting down the damage here and supporting the team. Bang! There goes the Mega Lucario. Bang! There goes the Mew. Reject sees the Dragonite, and AK1 drops the clip out on him. You are empty. Bang! Another one for the Inteleon, and Groudon is free.
Groudon secured by Reject. It's not over, but geez, this is going to be tough. Blastoise watching this bottom goal zone as Meowth scores right away. Pavone putting in the 80 points. That brings him to 4:03 with a minute 15 on the clock. They can actually just peel away from this Dude Stacks, and that looks like what they're doing here. Here comes Fennel looking for a possible fight. Reject just kind of strafing away from the battlefield, throwing a little Caltrops in their way, trying to slow them down, but it looks like only one is going to go down, and here comes Meowth.
Using their Unite move, they're trying to put some damage in, but now just using that as a hyper retreat tool. We're pinging the Inteleon right now. Pavone again is down. We've got the Garchomp going around, but Dragonite susses it out. AK gonna look to stop that.
Yeah, but Dragonite may be looking to fight right here as we have members of Fennel scoring. It's actually gonna put him in a great position here. 370, 403. This is not over right now, Dupe Snacks. Can they stop this Garchomp? Can the Garchomp get the Dragonite? Another member coming. Here is the Psyduck. Dragonite fighting on the goal zone. Can they stop it? Psyduck scores 481. 15 seconds minutes left.
581, they need 2 hundo burgers and more. Do they have enough in the tank? We're looking for it. They're going. We need the scores. That's not going to be enough after the counter scores of Reject.
Oh, beautiful play, and the Meowth scoring right there means it was all for naught. They couldn't make it happen. Reject with an amazing game 1. They are on a run, my friend.
All right. All right. Now just one best of 3 separates these 2 teams from being crowned ACL champions.
That's right. They got an extra win because they were coming here from the winner's side, but Reject decided to say, let's even that up. We'll make it a best of 3 right now. Don't worry, we'll take this first game. Like I said earlier, I would really love to see this go the full distance right here. That would be exciting because as we continue with our draft, the special draft that we have for this tournament, every Pokemon you pick means that you have to pick something new in the following game, drafting against your opponents and drafting against yourself.
How good was that Liquidation Intelia?
Yeah, huge.
Take was everywhere. I mean, especially on that catch, great engagements. Leading the charge was Overlord. I mean, they were shelling so much damage in. Mame couldn't even keep up with the Clefable, and they were everywhere.
You know, yeah, it looked amazing. Something you and I were talking about just before this started was how wonderful it is when they put Overlord on something that can carry a little bit. You know, it's one of those surprising things. When you take the 2-time world champion who played a carry role and you allow them to carry for your team, it can sometimes work pretty well.
Yeah, we're going to trade for Jerry Rice, could throw a bunch of money at him, and then, you know what? You're going to be a place kicker.
Yeah, why not? We'll get Wayne Gretzky in here, and maybe we'll make him play goalie. You know what? Maybe we'll make him be a caster. Why not? He's good at hockey, right?
That's what happened to us.
That's what happened to us.
They're like, you two are so good at this game. You want to cast? And we're like, but don't you want us to play? We're pretty darn good. And they said, no, we want you to cast.
We want you to cast. You know, part of me thinks they didn't think we were that good, but I don't want to read too much into it, you know?
I can't read, as established by this broadcast.
That's right. An incredible callback here as we are getting ready for our next match between these 2 squads. Obviously, Reject looking pretty incredible. There is something to be said about the team that has to go on that loser's bracket run.
Right.
They're tested more than the other team. They're playing more than the other team, so they are more used to this format. They are more comfortable with what they are doing on this stage, and momentum is that factor that you cannot avoid. It is so important through some of these tournaments. There are times where a team has an incredible run, but they're just sitting, waiting in grand finals. The loser's bracket takes longer than expected. They've been on ice for too long, and all of a sudden it takes them a little while to kind of even get moving when they're back up on that stage.
Exactly. All that to be said, Fennel did not look weak by any means.
Nope.
But I just think they were edged out by Reject, who had just a slightly stronger draft and a better approach to how they're going to these battles.
Well, we're heading to game 2 here, Doob Snacks, so we'll see what their approach looks like here. We obviously have our first ban. It is on the side of Fennel, which means they're also going to be our first pick here. They're going to ban out the Blastoise. And on the side here of Reject, we have Dodrio.
Dodrio again. So, you know, there's the common thought process here in this draft style. You ban what you picked last time so that the team can't get it here. Now in a best of 5, that has diminishing returns, right? Because eventually you just have to pick something different. But we'll see where this goes. Mega Charizard Y, Surfetch to close that out, and then Zacian was the last one for Reject there.
Yeah, Zacian seems to get an insane amount of priority, especially here in Japan. Teams love to first pick it, but instead we are going to get first pick Mimikyu, and you do have to remember we have more games to go.
Yeah.
So, you know, you have to draft for now, and you got to draft for the future a little bit.
Satake grabbing that Machamp, a great Machamp player, of course. Pee-wee grabbing the Espeon. This is the combo that Reject loves.
Yes.
Suplex him, Psyshock him, put him down.
Yeah, it is very mean to run at them with submission, grab them, throw them over your shoulders like a continental soldier, and then immediately as that happens, the sniper Espeon, boom, blows them up. And with Psybeam, you can spread that damage to the rest of the team a little bit too. We've got a Leafeon on the side of Fennel as well as a Snorlax.
All right, a lot of great options here for Reject as the Mew was hovered for a minor moment. Pabone hasn't moved off the Eldegoss. We'll see what actually gets selected here.
Next couple of picks, few options. This is something they've been loving, would be this Anchor, and we do get the Comfey.
This package here, Machamp, Espeon, Comfey, with the Sweet Kiss to pull them in just in case you're trying to get out of the submission range, and then you get suplexed anyways, plus the Side Shock. And now you have the combination of that or the Anchor shot into the Side Shock, into the Sweet Kiss. I mean, so many good options here.
Got ourselves a Greninja on the side of Fennel, a Pokemon that's getting more and more play competitively. And I was wondering what our final pick was going to be here for Reject. I was even thinking, do they completely go without a defender? And yes, they do. We've kind of seen this style of a composition from them before. I don't know if it was the exact same comp, but it was very, very close to this, where they had multiple all-rounders supported by a single Comfey. I think they had Surfetch the time they ran this before. And then, of course, an attacker. It was pretty phenomenal. Is it enough to take down Fennel? As we talked about, incredibly close. Game 1. Fennel's draft here feels powerful, extremely strong early with a couple of Pokemon that scale incredibly well.
You know, a lot of conventional approach when you're looking at defenders is, hey, let's get some shred, right? Like that liquidation that just chews through the HP pool. However, Reject is kind of flipping that on its head and saying we can put so much burst damage onto a defender that we can still take care of it.
Yeah, we're going to have to see how it's going to look here in this game. Greninja has had some up and down games throughout this tournament. Delmise, I feel like, has had some up and down games throughout this tournament on a singular team. However, all of the plays seem to be working a lot better today. I don't know what it is about Sunday, but it might just be Reject's day. Here we go. Game number 2, Fennel, your purple team. Reject, your orange team, all tied up in our grand finals.
You got to think, between the Sweet Kiss Comfey, suplex into Side Shock, the power whip swing of Delmise, and an overheat, not much in the game is surviving all that.
Yeah, it could be very incredible. On the side here of Fennel, they're going to want to win early, right? That is the idea when you have something like a Leafeon, nice secure for them right there. Trying to get Mame to move away from this a little bit so they can't get the big secure, but no, Mame gets it anyway. X speeds right through, grabs a berry, onto the jump pad, jumps away. I mean, oh,
bandit behavior right there.
Yeah.
Blissey. I thought you were here to help people, Blissey, not commit crimes.
Unbelievable. As we see P now level 4, AK1 made their way to the top path. I'm not sure if Pavone saw that. They can kind of suss out that they're somewhere around here. As we have Satake at level 5, the combination already online.
I mean, yeah, they're ready to go, and now they're just on a hunt almost. Hey, is there any easy targets we can just snatch up? Going straight towards the Comfey to make sure they've got the Triforce of power here. Those leaves stuck back through, got a little bit of damage, Side Shock, bang. That is exactly what they're trying to eye up. Put it down for another one. Mimikyu getting the Machoke down, that's at least important, but the points are going in as at least a consolation prize for Reject.
Yeah, you're going to want some of those stacks, right? Still not level 5 here. Finally, we have the Combuskin. Your absolute favorite Pokemon has made its way to Thea Sky Ruins, parentheses, Groudon, as we see Satake now working through the center. Mame, you monster. No, come on!
Ah, and the safeguard to prevent the submission as well. Mame, just a pure bandit.
Is this allowed? I mean, come on, it feels wrong.
It is. It is incorrect, unless your name is Mame. That feels pretty darn good. It's like, I'm putting the team on my back, and I'm just a blitzing.
Yeah, for a Fennel fan, that must feel like a great time. For everyone else, we're saying there's something in the rule book. I think you're not allowed to do that. You're supposed to support. We'll probably have to run this one back. Nice little play right there. Not able to make it happen. Sweet Kiss decided not to activate in that moment. They were charging it up. You can kind of decide whether or not you want that to activate. And if you don't, your cooldown is much, much lower, so they can go right back in and look for another engagement here. AK1 moving through the center right now as we have Machamp kind of trying to get some information by having a run by on the side of Fennel.
I like what Fennel is doing here in the face of this Espeon, Machoke, Machamp combination. They're not really playing ball, right? Unite, they're just kind of walking away. Like, okay, it's a cool combination, but if we're not here to get caught, then that's fine with us too.
Yeah, Combuskin right now in the top path, not having a great time. Only level 6, level 7 for the side of Fennel. The Leafeon is almost to its Unite move at 8, which means it can put a lot of pressure on the top path. Regieleki getting incredibly low right here, but it's somehow the Delmines.
Huge power whip. And the range on that is super deceptive, my friend. It can hit just a lot further than maybe you didn't anticipate for a melee move.
But look at this combo. Right into the overheat, smacking him around. Big time scores and a huge overcap. 29 for Fennel to 98 for Reject. If you were just joining us, you'd be shocked to find out that Reject was in our losers bracket since the start of this tournament. I mean, they look phenomenal.
Yeah, they're doing great. AK1, level 9 now, has their Unite move available. Overlord holding down this bottom path. We need to get some of these players on Fennel involved here so they can help counterpunch against Reject.
Here we go, just ripping through that Regieleki as we have a nice little secure here for Reject. Greninja trying to stop this a little bit, but no Unite move yet on Greninja.
Oh, is that Grass Knot as well with the Sweet Kiss here? They close out the goal zone, Reject runs away.
Yep, that is Grass Knot. It has an interesting interaction that I always find odd, where it doesn't let you cast it right away after a Sweet Kiss, probably because that would seem a little too absurd. But if you're able to line that up very well, you can create some huge plays.
All right, we're going in cross chop, forcing out some Unites here a little bit, trying to find a target. Mimic Unite is down, and they are still okay. All right, Satake. Overheat bang, make it 4 players. We're going for it. Espeon Unite push continues.
Whoa,
5 in a row, sieging the goal zone, and Fennel is shook.
Wow, wow, it's still going. No, Leafeon, why'd you jump in, buddy? Oh man, finally the Machamp is gonna go down right here, but Fennel, they paid for that over and over and over. It is 69 to 316 for Reject.
Oh man, you said over and over and over again. Reminded me of a little Marshawn Lynch quote. Not a lot of people can handle getting hit in the face over and over and over and over and over and over again. And what do you think the lesson is there, Spraggles? Punch him in the face.
Oh, it's a punch him in the face. I thought
punch him in the face.
It seemed like it was very specific to Fennel. And you know what? It actually might be in this match because Reject is up in their grill throughout this entire thing. Already have broken the top tier 2 goal zone right here. Oh boy, Sweet Kiss. You know what? That's a weird name for it. This is one of the most disgusting kisses I've ever seen.
It's a yucky kiss. Yes. Hashtag yucky kiss. Rename it. Nerf it or rename it. Your choice, Pokemon. The ball's in your court.
Yeah, it's up to you guys. But that's all it is. And this offer comes off the table at midnight. 4 minutes on the clock. 100 points now. Have gone in for Fennel. So they're a lot closer here. But wow, Haruto looking to make a play. The Sweet Kiss is available right here. The Flowery Fields forever. Haruto really deep right here. Here comes Overlord. Greninja having to dive by. The Emerald 2-step. Overlord's going down. Pavone is going down. Fennel actually having a great fight here. And, you know, maybe at some point Marshawn Lynch shouldn't be coaching Unite. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you know, they didn't punch him in the face enough, I suppose. Good job by AK1 to drag his team kicking and screaming back into this game. They at least brought some parity to the experience. That scoreboard still looks pretty bad.
Yeah, the scoreboard looks bad, and of course, you know, Fennel is really just seeing how, Reject is just seeing how much more they could punish Fennel, how much more they could run up this score. In case they're not able to win at Groudon, they could still secure a W in this match. But Fennel expertly fighting right there as a unit, coming back in this game. Level-wise, we're basically all tied up now. The highest level, 2 of them on the side of Fennel after that fight.
He is especially susceptible to the strategy Reject has put together, so they need to calculate how they're going to have P engage. Maybe a late Emerald 2-step after the scrap has begun is what I'd be eyeing up here if I am Fennel. Let's see what we do with this objective. 30 seconds till Groudon.
That's a scary moment right here. They're looking to get a catch, and they do. In trouble right now. Mimikyu has to peel back. Greninja moves in.
Yo, Greninja Unite is huge. Trying to catch them is Oh, here comes Overlord. That's a knockout. Looking for more. These teams are just fighting. Objective left in the wayside. Nobody cares about that. We got a Groudon now, and people still respawning.
LAIC moving towards the center right here. Overlord getting some information as to exactly where the team is. They see they're moving through the top path, not able to grab them right there with the hook, and the Groudon rip is on.
Heavy slam in. We've got the trick room down. Groudon's at half. We're putting the damage all over it. Bliss Assistance is into the middle. Espeon is down. Groudon is there. Secure needs to be available. Step in. No! The Blaziken gonna stop! The Blaziken gonna stop. 2 players down, and it's AK1, the Mimikyu, taking over. 10, Jack, Queen, King. Guess what, folks? That's an ace.
Fennel right now showing them what the House of Boom really is. Scoring in the top and bottom path. 4:69, 3:16, minute and a half on the clock. And Reject giving up that huge lead that they had. They can come back in this game, but the buffs are on the side of Fennel. They're easily able to sneak across the map and score once again.
What a play on the Blaziken to get them chipped up so they don't have the overheat available, which allows AK1 to not only catch a Groudon, but catch all the bodies too. Reject stun.
And here we go. We have Reject moving back towards their home goal zone. They recognize that if they move forward to try to score, Fennel can just sneak in and get some points. They're going to see if they can make a play right here.
Big trap.
Look for a catch. Can they make it happen? Call an ambulance, but not for Fennel, it looks like.
No, Machamp still standing, cross chops away with no HP, jumping back on to get that shield. Mashio tries to chase, but there's not going to be enough in the tank for these two right here to get it done.
Here we go, 7:07, 3:16. Fennel is going to take a game off of Reject, putting them 1 game away from becoming your Asia Champions League champions.
What a game number 2, and I think everybody on Fennel should be looking down the line and saying thank you, AK1, because that Mimikyu did everything it needed to do to support 4 other players that were on life alert.
Yeah, what an incredible fight from them. They really got there, you know? And that was a match where it felt like it was going to be extremely difficult for Fennel to come back after Reject had essentially, just completely stomped them for the first 6 minutes or so of that game.
Reject, pure hubris, chasing down that close to the home goal zone, which is really what allowed AK1 to pack up the other 4 players and chuck them into the traveler bag that they strapped on their back and got them into this game through the experience they were able to gain in that moment. Reject going to be thinking twice about what happened around that 4-minute mark.
Yeah, no question, right? You want to keep putting the pressure on. You want to push your advantage. There's no point to completely take your foot off the gas in these moments, but if you give up too much, all of a sudden the other team comes back and more. You know, that's one of the big things with Pokemon Unite, the amount of catch-up experience, the mechanics that are set up in this game. They punish you more if you're the higher level and you go down, right? So when you make a play like that, you do have to make sure that you don't give up too much. And they gave up just about everything. Got Fennel right back in the game. In fact, got them ahead of Reject. And then after that, Fennel just took an incredible fight.
Exactly right. Like you said, Reject was going for the flip there, right? It was weighted in their favor. You got that big power whip. You got the overheat. But the cover by Fennel was so good. The immediate commitment into the middle, smacking down that trick room, heavy slam, getting the chip up on the Blaziken through all of that, and the Bliss Assistance knock up as well, and then AK1 can use all of these tools at their disposal to take 3 knockouts in the objective.
The word we're getting from production is that Reject is going to be our first pick here, moving into our next draft. They lost this game, so they did get to decide.
Okay, worth noting again, for those of you at home that may just be joining us, this is a best of 5. Fennel through the winner's bracket started with a 1-game advantage. Winning that game right there puts them on the doorstep. 1 10-minute game of Pokemon Unite separates Fennel from being your 2026 ACL champions.
That's right, they are right there. They just got to tap it in. Just tap it in one more little bit, and they can take this thing home. The trophy that is sitting right between these two squads is up for grabs.
And a bunch of cool rings.
Yeah, the rings as well.
Cool. I think the rings are pretty cool.
The rings are insanely cool. They won't let us touch them. They won't let us touch the trophy. They don't let us near a lot of this stuff.
Yet.
I don't think they're changing their mind as we head to game number 3 here. Fennel and Reject. We can see.
That was terrific.
Is it? All right. Do we only cut back when we're doing? We were doing a little.
I was doing calisthenics. My knees are locking out. I'm trying to stretch.
Oh, well, okay.
So that means the cutback to that was intentional.
Intentional.
You hate to see it. You hate to see it.
They're not letting us touch those rings, brother. Zarina, Zashi, and Blastoise banned out. Dodrio, we also have the Megachar Y, and once again, Saida. First pick to the side of Reject, and they're taking the Surfetched.
Yeah, banning it every other game, grabbing it now, and now, you know, obviously they didn't put Spraggles on camera, but he was doing some of those dipsker-doos there for himself. We'll see how Fennel reacts here after the first pick Surfetched.
Yeah, here we go. What do they want to play into this? Machamp available. They have not used it yet. But no, instead we are grabbing the Umbreon, and we are grabbing Koopa.
Yeah, they're stressing here the options that Reject has in this moment, knowing full well that they can get that Machamp later in the draft because Reject just selected it and they can't pick it again.
Here we go. We have Mew picked up, and we have Buzzwole possibly being locked in for Reject. Yes, we do.
Haruto wants that Buzzwole, a Pokemon that has looked solid in the hands of these Eastern teams. We'll see what the reactionary selection from Fennel is. Miraidon is hovered. It is, of course, available to them if they want it in this moment. A lot of good, consistent damage out of that Pokemon. And what's going to accompany it? Of course not Miraidon.
No, not Miraidon.
Well, put Machamp in there, and there's the Inteleon.
Yeah, Machamp has just had so many moments throughout this tournament. Such a playmaker. No shocker to see it in this. But, of course, they knew it couldn't be picked, right, by the side of Reject, so they can take it whenever they want, and that is what they are doing here. Final pick over to Reject, considering the Leafeon, locking it in.
All right. Let's see how we're going to round this out. Is it going to be Mega Lucario? Is it going to be base model Lucario? Is it going to be something completely different? Sliding through these different options. It would be a bit of a surprise if they didn't go with something solid here. I like Talonflame. We haven't seen it for a minute.
Yeah, Talonflame just feels like always a great pick. It is such a high skill ceiling. It's able to deal so much damage, so much burst damage. Multiple builds that work well for it right here. Puts a lot of pressure on your opponents. They take away Dodrio. It's a 3-headed bird. Just go with a bird with 1 head. Okay?
Yeah, why not? You can kind of see how they're going to facilitate Machamp here, right? Suplex after a mean look, maybe. Liquidation follow-up if that's where AK1 decides to go. Even a snipe shot into a submission is a ton of damage.
Perfect lineups for that snipe shot.
And then you have Fly as well there that can do the exact same thing.
Yeah, and here we see, you know, from Fennel, they obviously had a plan to get this Surfetch. That was one of the first things that they wanted there, was grabbing that Surfetch to bring it into this game.
Now that we're here, let's do just a couple knee up and downs there, calisthenics, before we get into our game number 4.
Yeah, kind of, right? Yeah.
Well, it's game number 3, but it's 4.
Yeah, it's game number 3, but it counts as game number 4. It would be game number 3, parentheses 4.
These are quotes. These aren't parentheses. I guess these would be
brackets.
Okay, put a 4 up. Put a 4 up, and then parentheses.
Of course, I got to cut away. Fennel, your purple team. Reject, your orange team. 1 game away from being your grand finals champion here at ACL. Reject stands in their way, and selfishly, I want to see another game here. I just want to see what these teams draft with so many Pokemon being taken away.
Mame going on a mission across the map. Pretty darn successful last game with the Blissey. Let's see if they can work some of that magic again. Putting the pressure on early. B1 going to be the Umbreon here, and Pee-wee, is just putting pressure on as well. I mean, they're just...
Oh, nice. Able to get it right there. I mean, beautiful stuff. They're going to evolve. They're going to get a couple of stacks. Overlord having to run away from this fight as well. Not a lot they can do. The crits are going to give Overlord some extra experience right here. And that went over to the side of Mashio.
I mean, this is a good little scrap here between these two. Pee-wee doing a decent job there. Would like to see a little bit more. Mame finally comfortable joining the rest of their team. We'll see what kind of hoopa this is in short order as they meet in the middle with AK1 to take all of those not to.
Yeah, and nice stuff there. Obviously, they were able to steal away that blue buff from the side of Reject. Here comes the fight. What can they make happen? A ton of experience over the side of Reject, and they're getting aggressive here as they're pushing forward towards this goal.
A lot of A pressing here. Good damage out of the Umbreon. Reposition off the foul play there. Moving forward and unable to evolve still is the Sobble.
Here we go. Blissey in trouble, being pulled off this goal zone. So incredibly low. Talon trying to make them pay for it right here. They do evolve, and they're trying to run, barely making it out. In trouble right here. Buzzwole trying to punish, but not able to make anything happen yet. Satake looking for Mame right now, trying to punish them for the invade. Not able to catch them with the Razor Leaf right there. I think, unfortunately, the berry that was meant for Mame was actually gobbled up by the Leafeon.
Would you like to see? Just a happy accident right there, Bob Ross.
Here we go. Rashio, bottom path, looking to secure. Yi in the top path, trying to do the same.
Pee-wee there, sitting Overlord, taking an eye. We have settled things out for just the briefest moment. Reggie Drago's getting chipped. AK1 looking for their operations in, so is B1. They want to enter the operating room right now, see if they can get something with surgical precision. No, take it by Pee-wee.
Here we go, top path, 18 points. Satake seeing if they're able to score here, but it looks like Talon is going to pressure them just enough. Do we get the mean look here this time? No, we don't. It is a foul play Umbreon.
Yeah, foul play Umbreon. Nice little suplex there. Follow up by P. They try to find a target, but it's the Buzzwole taking over. KO streak of 2 for them.
Wow.
They are going to get another one on the backside because Satake has been existing this whole time. And now a bunch of points are going in. That goal zone left at 2. Opportunity for a great overlay.
That was extremely close by Blissey right there. There was just a split second where they almost scored 4, but they turned it into 9 apparently. That's what they were looking to get right there. Regice already at half right now. A possible steal here from Wee on the side of Reject, but no, it is the Talon.
Very close on the solar beam. Overlord getting out with almost no HP ever to make it back to the pack.
And here we go. Leafeon getting their experience right now. They do not have a Unite move available, but they are of level, so they just need to make sure that they're moving around the map, getting more wild Pokemon KOs to charge that Unite move, as we have FK1 looking for their moment here.
Pabone is rotating down with the Buzzwole. Overlord sitting in the pocket, looking for a target. Here comes Satake, picked up and slammed, tons of damage. E-Ball stops them before the berry can be gobbled up.
Here we go, 40 points into this goal zone. Math looking pretty good right here. Leafeon going to go ahead and score. Overlord fighting here in the top path, pushing them off this goal zone. Once again, just like game number 2, I mean, look at the scoreline, 26-170,
Wow.
Reject in control.
E-Ball, yes! Great chase down by Overlord there. Getting a knockout feels pretty darn good. Pee-wee goes down in that exchange, but I think you're okay with that given how much Overlord wanted to do. The leak lunge gets them out of dodge. Meanwhile, Pavone grabs the attention and scores a couple points.
Here we go, Machamp grabs them here. Pavone finally going down. That's what you are looking for. Satake hiding in this tall grass, but I think it's just a little too dangerous.
Yeah, that's a tough fight to take between those two. Now that the
Never
Talon
mind.
Flame is isolated, well, it's because when 2 reduces to 1 and the 1 left is a chicken dinner, he can go ahead and eat.
That's exactly what I say. I say that every day. I feel like that's one of my quotes.
Probably. We're the same person. I learned that today. So
I did find that out as well. Everyone at the venue thinks that. And you know what? Actually, the people can tell us apart here in North America, I'll tell you that.
that is actually true. How unfortunate for us. Here we go. E-Ball Fly dodges that one, gets them out of dodge quite literally.
Yeah, dodges it, gets them out of dodge. They bought a dodge. Very, very heavy dodge stuff going on right now. They're in the central area here of Fennel, getting punished for it. Nice play there. Inteleon, level 10. Still, though, Fennel is behind by quite a bit, 44 to 211. These are great KOs for the side of Fennel, but they are going to need to convert on some points. 84 points. They're scoring the top path, make it 85.
well-used Mew Unite to just base and get out of there when they had the opportunity. However, they already gave back a ton of experience to this Fennel team. We're going for some more action. Fly to the sky. The chase is happening. Overlord catches the helping hand.
Wow.
They get the Machamp knockout and a bunch of birds as well.
Big time critical hit, an objective heading to the way of Reject. They take the bottom Reggie, they take the top Reggie right here. Satake looking to take a KO into this Umbreon. Can they make it happen? Looking to chase it down as we have another fight in the central area of Fennel.
Reject not learning any lessons from last time. They want that action, and they want it now. Regieleki on the doorstep. They're going to try and leverage it. There's Satake getting a knockout on Machamp, and now this Regieleki's going to hit, and they have the opportunity to close another goal zone, plus 33, and we are seeing a mirror image of Game 2.
Yeah, 165 to 333. Again, Reject putting so much pressure on scoring in a huge way. Now the only thing we have to figure out, Doomstex, is there any way they can not give up a huge amount of experience so that they keep this lead heading into Groudon? If they do, it's going to be extremely difficult for Fennel to do anything.
Pavone sees what's going on here. 7 points go in. I think they're going to let this overcap happen, and it's going to be a clean 30. 330, 365, 217, 1 minute left until Groudon.
That's right, and we are looking for Reject to take this right here. I mean, at this point, I think we just have to be clear. Yeah, this is what we want. I am fully rooting against Fennel right now. A great team. I want another game out of these two.
Oh yeah, let's put everything on the line, right? 1 10-minute game of Pokemon Unite and see how deep these Pokemon pools actually are. 30, less than 40 seconds now, 35 in a second, and we've got one more objective opportunity, and it looks like Reject is posturing for it, and Fennel could care less.
Yeah, Fennel possibly looking for a score here in this top path. I like this play right here. Reject, I mean, they're taking this objective. They're going to be able to have a great fight. This is very smart, in my opinion, from Fennel. They're way behind on the scoreboard. This gets them incredibly close. Yep. Now, we have members of Reject moving in towards this fight. The Reggie Seal is going to be a great buff for them, just giving them a ton of damage as we head towards this final encounter. The burst damage could be enough to take some Pokemon before they're able to use a Unite move. If they can do that, they can win this entire thing. Umbreon getting caught a little bit, but peeling back.
Yeah, taking some damage. Fly is there. We think we've got vision through Overlord. They might know where they're at. Satake actually based, jumping to the top path here as Fennel sets up.
Yeah, and here we go. They're looking for their moment, Doomsnacks. We're going to see how they want to move forward. They could look for another score here, but it is being watched by the Leafeon in the top path. No, they're not pressuring it. They're heading back towards Groudon.
Okay, here we go. Just a little trick Phantom Force. Fly almost has the opportunity to catch the Buzzwole, but was unwilling to commit Umbreon reset.
Yeah, we're getting some information
right
here.
Buzzwole pulls him in, and we're going for it now. And Teleon is dusted. Rings are unbound. We have to fight. Buzzwole Unite catches another one. Haruda's on the chase. They want more. The fighting types are looking to scrap. Bliss's is in the middle. It's Overlord. Groudon is there. Taken by Reject. Let's get ourselves a Game 5, baby. And now Reject in control with just the Umbreon standing.
And the push is on, heading towards the goal zones here. 100 points in this bottom goal zone puts them up 465 to 306. Not able to make something happen in the top path. Satake takes a KO. This is going to be extremely difficult for Fennel to come back from. In fact, Reject can kind of sit back, relax, and plan out your next draft, because unless Fennel pushes, they cannot win.
You know what? Reject's sitting here, and they can still send, the Mew with the Unite on a mission in these next 30 seconds, right? Use their Unite move to mist all the way to that home goal zone. And look, Reject wants to make this one hurt. They are letting them know that this is a statement game, and Reject is down, not out, as they're looking to balance the score sheet.
And look at that, scoring in the home goal zone, 755, 306. You wanted it, you got it, and by you, I specifically mean us. We wanted a Game 5. Well, here we are, Game 5, Grand Finals of ACL.
Keep the show rolling, baby. We got one more in the bag for you. Let's see how good we can get this thing going. The crowd here, again, electric. Everybody glued to this screen, because why? Two Japanese teams in the ACL Finals are going to Game 5.
It does not get much better than this. These two teams are incredible. They have had a completely different tournament run. One of them essentially starting this entire thing in the losers bracket after losing their first set. Fennel, on the other hand, starting in the winners bracket, staying there the entire time. Have they ever fully been tested? No one's taken them to the brink like Reject has in this series. And one final game decides it all. Again, Doom Snacks and everyone at home, we have the knockout draft format. Every Pokemon that is picked by your team cannot be picked in subsequent games by your squad. We have gone through 3 matches already. That is 15 Pokemon for your team that you're not allowed to draft again. This is where it really gets exciting.
We are going into our game number 5. First pick is going to be Fennel. That message just came to us from production. Reject, Fennel, game 5. Let's get into it here as we are taking a look at our knockout draft rule.
Yeah, this is going to be very exciting. I mean, it's all really coming down to this. You can see how many Pokemon are banned out as we head here to this final moment in Game 4. You know, I guarantee there was someone who said, do we even really need to make the Game 4 part of the graphic? It's not going to happen. Well, it happened, person who tried to argue it. It happened, hypothetical guy that I made up.
I will say, I think there's only twice we haven't been cast or cursed when we've made a call, and it was to get a Game 5 at EUIC and to get a Game 5 here at ACL. Both of those tournaments delivering in a big way, and I can't wait to see how this shakes out.
Yeah, and the real question is, who is going to end up winning this thing? Is it going to be the team that has been most dominant throughout the entire season from Japan, looked at as the best team in Japan, maybe best team in the world in Fennel? Or is it going to be the team that had to claw their way through the losers bracket, the underdog, the team that happens to have the 2-time world champion from North America on it, coming over to Japan to play this season, trying to prove something to the world and to himself that he can be a champion in multiple regions? We are going to find out in one short 10-minute game.
I have to say, you know, we talk about Overlord because we're obviously NA homers. We've gotten to cast him specifically for so many years, but this Reject team is good from top to bottom, and I can't believe I'm saying this. It's not the Overlord show every single game. I mean, Satake is having monster games. Haruto saved that game on the Buzzwole, right? Kicked that thing off. And then you have Pee-wee that is just flexing all over the place and delivering in big, big moments. This team is so fun to watch. And of course, Pabone, the support core of the team, while everybody else is off doing the nonsense, they're holding it down with some traditional picks.
Yeah, and there's something special about a team that makes their way through the losers bracket. We've seen this time and time again here in UCS, the World Championships, and ACL. There's just something about a squad that really has to be put to the test. And then once they are, they kind of level up. They make their way through the competition. They've learned something. They've grown. They've gone through the hero's journey somehow, and now they are going to try to end it right here. Can they do it? It always feels like the losers bracket run just has a little bit of magic to it. Maybe Reject has this right now. They might be hoisting that trophy over their head in a few short moments.
What you know about Magic? What you know about Magic?
I don't know a lot about Magic.
You know who knows a lot about Magic? Coin Guy. If we could get him up here, that would be terrific to do a little, what I'm assuming is close-up Magic. I think he can do that. I understand that's kind of like a prerequisite if I read the job posting correctly.
Yeah, to work at Pokemon, you do need a decent amount of close-up Magic. Obviously, we had a very small amount of close-up Magic, so we can be contracted to work with Pokemon on specific events. But if you actually are employed by them, you obviously go through constant Magic training. This is something we all know and something that you don't need to be bothered with here at home. I'm telling you things that are just common knowledge as we head to our final game of our Grand Finals, our final draft here at ACL.
Blastoise, Dodrio, all creamy, picked up here by Fennel onto the ban sheet, followed up by Charizard.
We're going to see if there are any Pokemon that they're really looking to ban out here in this final game. Mame, looks like we're going to be targeting the Crustle here. And once again, Zacian taken off the table. All right, well, here we go. Our final draft, and I am just so very curious to see what it is. Zarina picked up right away. We've got the Slowbro here.
The immediate retaliatory Slowbro selection. So we've got 2 unique single target isolating Unite moves here.
All right, next pick over here to reject. What are they going to go with? The Urshifu.
We are in deep waters now, folks. Reactionary draft here from Fennel. We'll see what they do in the face of Slowbro and Urshifu.
Yeah, next couple of picks here. Suicune on the table, it looks like. Mame grabbing the Vaporeon, a powerful pick. And we're going with old school Lucario.
You have to think, I'm taking a look through the sheet, they did already use the Mega Luca here, so they have the opportunity to go maybe power up punch, close combat if they wanted, or that E-speed move set.
Here we go. Final couple of picks. Mimikyu on the table. Looks like Snorlax on the table as well. Gonna go double defender. No, we've got the Talonflame and we have the Mimikyu.
Okay, so the option here for the Comfey still available on the side of Reject.
Suicune is a scary one.
I said Comfey, sorry. That is not available for them. It was selected in game 2. I had mixed up the squads there. My apologies.
Yeah, here we go. Final pick.
4 all-rounders?
Wow, we're looking to brawl here in this final game. Last pick over on the side of Reject. Do they want to fight? Do they need some defense? Do they need some support? What is Pavone going to bring into this game with our final pick? Looks like it could be Clefable. They're discussing it now, and they do lock it in.
That is a very traditional support selection here to close out Reject's drafts. A lot of HP gaining opportunities exist right there. Tons and tons of CC through that Suicune on the side of Fennel. 1 10-minute game, Cowboy, and we've got ourselves a champion.
I do feel like there are a few huge difference makers on both of these sides. Obviously, the Slowbro is massive. When you see that, I'm shocked that you would want something like Charizard X because it does feel like the Slow Beam is kind of a direct counter.
Surf feels like a counter, bro.
Yeah, you're right. Surf is an incredible counter to it as well. And on the side of Fennel, Suicune, it has moments where it wins the entire game with a combination. Between, even if you're going the Surf build, whether you're going the Whirlpool build, one combo of that into your Unite move, shutting down multiple members of the enemy team. It could be the entire game in one Suicune combo. We're going to have to see if they can make that happen here. As again, we are watching our final game here at ACL, live in Yokohama, Japan. We are about to crown our champion. Let's get ready for it, everybody. Fennel, your purple team. Reject, your orange team. This is it, Dupe Snacks.
ACL Grand Finals, game number 5, 9 minutes and 47 seconds separate one of these teams from glory and friendship.
That's right. You don't get to be friends anymore if you lose this game. As they're heading forward here, looking to score. Mimikyu trying to put some points on the board, being bullied by Mashio, but now they are going to peel back. Mame on the other side already scoring as well, getting those stacks in early. Overlord trying to run away from this, and they do make it away. Water Gun possibly being charged up, and they actually are able to get that secure with the boosted. Nice job from Pee-wee.
Yeah, Pee-wee, I mean, I love this first pick Slowbro. I think it makes everything so tough for Fennel. And now, if they can beat up on this Charizard X before it can really start taking over the game, well then you have so many tools in your toolkit to deal with it.
Yeah, and here we go. Satake already ready to go here. The Water Bear, the Surging Strikes, the combinations. They're looking to land punches in bunches into the side of Fennel. Up into the top path. Here comes the Talonflame. Can they get the secure? A lot of that going to both sides there, but it looks like Big Bird was secured by Fennel.
Yeah, I mean, a great exchange of experience and straight onto the Suicune there, trying to get pushed back. Almost a knockout on Satake.
Yeah, that's that nice moment right there. I mean, we just talked about it, what that Suicune can do, and it really did shut them down right there. Huge plays here. Can Overlord get the KO? Mashio peeling back. That berry kind of saves them. Overlord going to have to walk away from this. The Shadow Claw is ready to go. Mashio seeing if they can pick up a KO with the stomp, but no, Overlord too smart for that.
Some good patience there out of Overlord to get out. I do like how Mashio didn't overextend either. Pee-wee with the cover. They're going to step up here with this slow bro and quickly get their 15 points in. Not a bad look here. There's the surf for a little bit of disruption on the Steenie.
Yeah, it's nice secure there for Mashio in the face of two members of Reject here. They're looking for their level 6. They're so close to it. Can they steal this away? They do. No level 6 for Zarina. That huge power spike. They are still a Steenie right here, but they are pushing. Here comes Charizard.
Way to close the gap here. Now they're putting pressure on Satake, who's trying to get out. Moonlight to top off Slowbro, and Fennel says the chase isn't worth it. They get out of dodge.
Yeah, and here we go. Mashio, level 6 right now. They finally are Zarina. We have Haruto, also low level here, only level 5 from this Fletchinder.
Yeah, going to put pressure on the Charizard that's 3 levels higher, which is an interesting choice here. You'd think they'd want to be scrapping with the team. Now they peel up top as AK1 is going through their sentry.
Yeah, AK1, this is actually really scary. They're so incredibly close to their level 9. If they could show up to this fight, this would be a difference maker for sure. Mashio pushing forward. Pavone having to move back. Charizard walking down to the bottom path.
There's the Trick Room. Drop kick there. Engagement deep. Follow me away to retreat, but that leaves Regirock free for Fennel.
Beautiful stuff there, I would say, from Reject. I mean, that was very smart to not engage this Charizard, but it's moving in regardless.
We're going in here. Satake with the cover. Overlord is very low. The whole of Reject has to sit on this pad, and Fennel is just bigger. They let this Charizard get out of control already.
Yeah, it's looking great here, and they have intelligently not used their Unite move multiple times. They could have continued to push, but they won the objective, and now they're looking for more value around the map.
Satake trying to get on top of this Regidrago, has Pee-wee in tow, and of course, Pavone there for the cover. Charizard just hanging out. Here comes Mame, no fear. Puts down the Muddy Waters, hits a little level up, as it is finally secured by the Talonflame.
Yeah, nice secure here. Talonflame finally online. They have Fly now. They can make plays like that. Satake now ripping through. Regieleki trying to set it up for the squad. Of course, Power Up Punch Lucario, a dangerous one to try to secure around as well.
Pavone trying to get to their team with Follow Me, and it's taken by Charizard, and that is just a cutting maneuver. They fire Punch up, and then they take them to the skies. Knockout through the Power Up Punch, by the Lucario. Oh, they were unable to close it. That was close. Mega Charizard X goes for more action. Talonflame is low. They're trying to get away. And now, unfortunately, it's Clefable catching the receipts for the insolence of that Fire Bird.
Yeah, unfortunately, not able to make a huge play in this top path, even with that win right there, but they were able to score. 139 to 83. Fennel is ahead. Overlord trying to put 35 points in it. It's an even break right here, but they want to get rid of this goal zone already, Doomstex. Talonflame with the crash landing right into the Unite move. AK1 kind of just moving through it with the power of that Fire Punch there, trying to run, but eating the jump kick.
That is the knockout they needed. Good Moonlight top off, throat chop through, and the Fly gets them out of dodge. Pee-wee comes in, surf coverage. Suicune is gonna gobble up the Slowbro. Here comes Mashio with the stomping shoes on. Oh, call them work boots through the Ice Age. No slip grip on those things.
Look at that. This is what we talked about earlier. Suicune setting up a massive fight for the side of Fennel. And as you mentioned, they had the correct dancing shoes on right there.
Woo! They'll tell you what, Fennel playing completely different than any game we've seen them so far. This is dialed in. AK1 is getting huge. Reject has proper tools at their disposal that they need to be strategic in how they employ them. You can't just let them be alone. Going straight in is the Mimikyu. They're bagging up the Charizard. The follow-up surf is there. The knockout credit does go to Overlord.
Yeah, Overlord able to get that secured KO right here. Surprised that we used 2 shutdown Unite moves, but I think both of them wanted it very bad. Regis getting extremely low. Who can get the secure? It is Mimikyu once again. Overlord moving forward, dancing through the trick room. They've got some dancing shoes of their own. Double KO for Reject.
It's nice to see Satake use that Unite move and finally deliver some rapid strikes to the foreheads of Fennel. KO streak of 2 is quality. Score lead is shrinking. Experience is back under control for Reject. 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and this is razor-thin margins here.
That's right. This is incredibly close right now, Doob Snacks, between these two squads. Fennel wants to widen their lead a little bit as they head towards this bottom path. Talonflame seeing what's happening here, but on a little bit of a mission themselves, skirting around the bottom path, looking for a score. 291, 118. Overlord ripping the Regieleki. Obviously, no one from Fennel is here to do anything about it. Overlord and Pee-wee going to walk towards this goal zone. It has 52 points in it, but Mashio here to defend.
Yeah, they're going to be able to stomp that down pretty quickly. Reject rotating through. Under a minute until Groudon. Regieleki's at half. Everybody on Reject has retreated to their side of the map.
Here we go. 2 minutes, 45 seconds. Everyone just looking for experience. Everyone looking for something. Everyone looking for a little bit that they can take to this fight because it is about to kick off. 30 seconds till Groudon hits the map. This entire weekend, everything leading up to this, all of the qualifiers, comes down to one possible final fight. And it looks like they could be caught here. They find them, though. Reject actually peeling back.
Fire Punch and Power Up Punch sends Reject reeling. 15 seconds until Groudon. Haruto takes to the skies. Drop kick is there. Overlord looking for some action through the trick room.
And here we go. Mashio getting extremely aggressive right here. The question is, who is going to take this fight? Who is going to make the play? Who is going to move towards the other team? Satake on the other side of this Groudon peels back. Here comes the slow beam!
Slow beam on the Charizard! No, the Ice Age back the other way! Suicune with a legendary play! Everybody is frozen! Reject is getting stunned! Satake pops their Unite move! And it's just the slow bro! Fennel with the amazing play! And the legendary dog does it for Fennel! They started in the winner's bracket! They are going to finish in the winner's bracket! They are going to take this Groudon! And they are going to eat those burgers!
Here we go. The question is, how do they want to play this last 1 minute and 20 seconds? They are ahead. Reject now clawing their way. They've been in this position before. They've been in this position this entire tournament. 1 minute left, and they need to make a legendary push as they look for their moment. One Unite move on the Talonflame. I can't believe the caster curse somehow is finally broken. I talk about Suicune maybe having an epic play that changes the entire thing, and somehow they do. Well, let's see if Reject can prove me wrong right now as they are marching towards the side of Fennel.
They are sweeping into the bottom path. Fennel sweeping into the top path. And we are just going to have another counter-scoring type situation, it seems. Is Fennel willing to play ball? They're waiting for information. Just Overlord stepping forward. They're going to do the right battle math. Haruta is there, and Fennel sending everyone else on their team to score.
Here we go. 391 for Fennel. They are scoring in the top path. They are going to try to score in the home goal zone. Haruto not able to make it happen. Mashio trying to score the 100 there. Charizard taking them down. They were able to wipe them at the goal zone as well. 747, 360. That 747 looking like the plane that's going to be taking them to the World Championships in San Francisco. The trophy will be hoisted by Fennel. The rings, they're not giving them to you and me, Snacks, of course. They're going to your champions. Fennel from Japan wins ACL.
An amazing bounce back game from an amazing team from the home region here of Japan. All of the tools necessary to combat this Fennel team in the draft did not matter. Fennel played it strategically, they played it slowly, they played it well. They made sure they got big enough that when those tools came into play, they couldn't stand up to the durability that they had built. Very well executed.
Incredible stuff, and you can see both of these teams. This is just an extreme amount of emotion, so much tension, so much adrenaline, so much on the line. But Fennel, they are your champions. A lot of people thought that Fennel could do it. A lot of people said Fennel was the best team. A lot of people said they were possibly the best in the world, but here they are.
Rocky day one. Collected, got together,
それでは
figured it out,
勝利を
and put
収め
together
ました
a great
ペンネルの
draft
皆様
and
ス
a
テージ
great win
前方にお越しください
for Asia champions. Fennel.
そしてここまで戦い抜いたリジェクトの皆さんにも大きな拍手をお送りください。
You see our champions right there. Gonna hear a few words from them here in short order. What a run by Reject Cowboy.
Incredible. Both of these squads. I mean, this is just such an amazing two to face off right here. The underdog run from
さあということで
Reject, the
ポケモンユナイ
dominant
トアジア
performance
チャ
from
ンピオン
Fennel.
ズリーグ2026ファイナルズチャンピオン
What? You hear that crowd? What a bounce back from them. Honolulu champions. Rough last year. First in Japan. ACL champs.
This really does feel like the year for Japan. It's felt like it before. Last year they came up short at Worlds, and now Fennel in the pole position.
5 teams from Japan will be going to the World Championships in San Francisco, and leading that pack out of this country is this team.
塩さんにお聞きしましょうか。塩さん、この優勝を決められたその勝因というのは何だったでしょう。
わかんないです。
まあもう夢中になって皆さん戦ってましたからね。
もう覚えてないです。
そうですよね。それぐら
はい
い必死だったということですよね。
ただ1点聞かせてください。特に2026年非常に勝率の高いフェネルです。特にどういったところにそういった勝率の高さがありますか。
雰囲気です。
雰囲気、フィーリングで今のフェンネルはあると。
これが王者の風格なんでしょうか。
そうね。
さあそして B さんも、
はい、
ここまでの戦いぶりも振り返って今の気持ちどうですか。
今日はみんな満足できるプレーができてたと思います。
ありがとうございます。
満点ということですね。
ただその中でもたくさんのスティールもあり、そして最後の集団戦のスイ君の無人標告、素晴らしいものがありますが、あの瞬間どういう気持ちでした。
いや、あの瞬間はもうえぐいの決めるのも決まってるようなもんだったんで、もう勝ててよかったです。
一生残る最高のユナイト技でした。
そして P さん、
はい、
改めて一緒に戦った仲間たちに今どんな思いを伝えたいですか。
いや、もう本当にここまでお疲れ様でしたとだけ伝えたいです。
皆さんのチームワークに本当に私たちも楽しませられましたし、感動しました。さあそして豆さん、終わって今勝利をつかんだ時の率直な思いはいかがですか。
いや、もう最近ずっと勝てなかったんで、なんかようやく勝てて本当に良かったです。
豆さん、チームが変わって今回世界大会をフェンネルで迎えるわけですけど、どういった戦いしたいですか。
いや、そうですね、もう本当最初入った時は僕が全部引っ張っていくぞって気持ちで入ったんですけど、本当至らないとこばっかりでみんなに支えられてばっかなんで、全員で優勝したいと思います。
ありがとうございます。その期待をぜひね、皆さんも応援で支えていただきたいと思います。
さあ改めまし、切ないさんにもねお聞きしたい。
そう、切なかったですね。
切ないさん、
いや
聞かせてください。失礼しました。後ろでちょっと見ていて、もう決まった瞬間には関係者の方々ともハグを交わすようなそんなシーンも見られましたが、決まった時の気持ちというのはいかがでしたか。
嬉しいです。お返しします。
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
さあということで続いて本大会の応援リーダー宮田俊也さんにもご登場いただきまして感想を伺ってまいりましょう、どうぞお入りください。
さあここまで2日間を見守ってきた宮田さん、
はい、
改めて振り返ってこの2日間のバトル戦いいかがでしたか？
で本当にもう一戦一戦にドラマがあって、もう本当に10分間の映画を見ているようなそんな試合がもうずっと続いている中で、こうしてアジアチャンピオンになられたフェンネルの皆さん、本当におめでとうございますという気持ちと、もうここまで来たら世界一にね今年も取って欲しいなっていう気持ちがすごく僕は強いので、 WCS も応援したいなと思っております。
そうですね、
はい、
ぜひ会場の皆様も一緒に引き続き応援していきましょう。
はい、さあそして、
Amazing stuff. Obviously, we've got our casters here that we have had throughout the weekend. We're going to give some thoughts on their match here. Of course, we are going to see our players hoist the trophy here momentarily. What a series. What an incredible best of 5. Zoinks, what were you thinking as you were watching that?
I just wanted game 4, so unbelievably bad, and we delivered. The knockout draft truly brought some bizarre compositions, but also, I mean, some out of the playbook from both of these teams. It delivered in every way we can want.
Yeah, absolutely. Chef, I see you peeking in, buddy. What do you think?
I mean, what an amazing grand finals. I kind of feel like we had a little bit of a curse in Unite with grand finals, and then this year it has been completely broken. We have just had the ultimate go the distance grand finals, and both these teams so well deserved as well. ACL last year, I felt like it was a little bit weird the way that Japan won. This year, I feel like they made a huge statement.
I totally agree with you. Yeah, last year it felt like, okay, one of the trickier teams won the entire thing. This year, 2 teams making it in such an impressive fashion. I also have to say, I'm a little jealous of how every time we cut directly to you in one of these, your shot is incredible. Just you're like peeking in shots. Yeah, can we get it one more time? I mean, look at this. There's just something so amazing.
There it is.
About the framing of this. Calosaurus, what do you think? I mean, what an incredible set.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
Yeah.
Honestly, just such an emotional run all the way through. Absolutely adored it. It was so much fun to be able to witness this.
Yeah, incredible. And of course, incredible to be here. Our champs are up on stage right now.
Oh, that's their ticket to the World
That's
Championships.
awesome.
That's awesome.
That is cool.
Wow, that is awesome.
Production, I'm
Amazing.
going to need my ticket to the World Championships to be exactly like that.
Yeah, get us one of the big ones.
I don't care. Give me one of the big ones.
Wow. I mean, that is very cool.
I like that suit jacket. We all like this guy.
その卓越した技術と多彩な戦略で私たちを魅了してくださったフェンネル、そしてリーグ戦から参加いただいたすべてのチームの皆さんに最大限の敬意と、敬意を表したいと思います。また本年度の PUACL 2026ファイナルズは多数の協賛者様にご支援いただいています。9点様、三井住友銀行様、トッパン様、大正製薬様、近畿日本ツーリスト様、ソフトバンク様、レッドマジック様、本大会の実施にあたり多大なるご協力を賜りましたことを心より感謝申し上げます。最後にこの会場にお集まりいただき、この瞬間を共に作り上げてくださった皆様、配信を通じて世界中からご視聴いただいた皆様、長丁場にもかかわらず最後まで大会をお楽しみいただき誠にありがとうございました。
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございました。
それでは最後にポケモンユナイトアジアチャンピオンズリーグ2026チャンピオンに輝きましたフェンネルへ伊藤取締役からトロフィーの贈呈でございます。おめでとうございます。さあ全員でトロフィー
There you have it.
トロフィーアップいきましょうか。
From Japan,
一番
all
いい
the way
瞬間
through
笑顔の
winners,
瞬間
and
です
they
よ
are your champions. They have the trophy, they have their ticket.
The gargantuan ticket.
Pretty big trophy, too, all things considered.
Yeah, but when you see that ticket, I mean, you can imagine the trophy looking even bigger. Maybe the best in the world. You could be looking at your world champs right here. One thing is for sure, you're looking at the champions of ACL. One of the best tournaments that we've ever had.
And not just that, not to mention, I mean, this roster of 5 from Fennel will also be going on to represent Japan at the Asia Esports Games as well for Pokemon Unite. So a lot of honors going towards this team who just won on stage.
Yeah, and they absolutely deserve it. Well, can you imagine they were announced that they were going to be representing Japan? I'm glad they did well. Yeah. I mean,
I'm sure a lot of people are.
Yeah, they could have had a tough weekend, but of course, it looks like they couldn't have. It looks like there was no other way it could have gone. They were going to win the entire thing. A lot of people thought they were the team to do it, and they proved everyone right, which is pretty incredible. Reject on quite a run, too. So many amazing teams throughout this experience, so many stories. Of course, only one team can win it all, so there's heartbreaks the entire way through, but it has been an amazing experience here in ACL. We can hear them still celebrating your champions up on the big stage. Let's get some final thoughts from the crew here about the weekend. I got to go to Chef first. Chef?
All right, my serious final thoughts. I mean, an amazing tournament. We got a chance to see just how strong Japan is at the moment, but also we got a chance to see the fact that all of the other regions are really strong as well. ROOT Dig being so close to being in grand finals, who knows what would have happened there. We've got to see Force go really, really far. CACM could have gone a little bit further if they weren't intercepted by their own region. So it's just one of those events that really makes you more excited for what's to come in the future, NAIC, Worlds, everything.
Yeah. Zoinks, hit me with it, brother.
Yeah, I mean, Asia Champions League always delivers. We talked a lot about these in-person events. I mean, we filled up this stadium with fans, and All Japan Final, I think, really delivered for the excitement of the people in crowd, but I hope everybody watching at home also felt the energy of these games, and I am so excited if that grand final is any bit of a sneak preview for the World Championships, because we are in for an incredible time in San Francisco.
Kellosaurus, hit me with it.
Just to piggyback off what Chef and Zoink said, I mean, the fact that we had 3 teams in the top 4 being Japan just really shows how strong they are. It has been an incredible weekend, incredible matches back to back, and honestly, just an incredible atmosphere all around. It was such a pleasure to be able to be here.
And Snacks, brother, what a series, what a day, what a tournament.
What a series, what a day, what a tournament indeed. And I don't think there is any region more deserving of a couple extra spots to the World Championship than the ones we just watched right there again. Now 5 teams going to be going to the World Championships from Japan, and there is no region I would want more teams from than this one. They are the pace car for Pokemon Unite without a doubt.
Absolutely, no question. I mean, you've got the home region advantage right here, and you also have the advantage of being the best teams in the world. So many great stories. I loved watching our representation from the West out of LAIC. That was incredible. At the same time, it's just an honor and a privilege to get to do something like this, to fly all the way to Japan to watch the absolute best of the best compete. I really do appreciate it. Even though we don't get the big tickets, it means a lot, and I'm glad that we get to bring these games to you. So for me and all of our casters and everyone working here, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening. This has been the Asia Champions League. We will see you all again very, very soon. Goodbye, everybody. Yeehaw. All the things.
All the things.
dunk. We do have a Puma. Wait, they survived that?
Groudon that's getting low. Can they secure with the stumps? The side duck! The side duck!
This is going to be insane.
443, Dignitas is winning. We're going through that the other way. Here's the guard. We're getting 6-4 in the middle. Fennel's done it. Fennel's done it. What? Slow beam on the Charizard. No, the IT.